Our predictions here as we start off
Oh
with
my god.
Damian Priest and Gunther,
Can I just
the
take
ring
a side note
general.
for a second?
Yeah, you were low-key pissed on Monday, huh?
Yeah, I'm really mad.
Yeah.
Um
What's going on?
Also, Raw was in my city on Monday. I am so there's a number of reasons why I'm glad that I wasn't there, but I am so glad I didn't have to see this bullshit in person because I was so heated. Because this is the thing. Why?
Why?
Why are we making Gunther look like this? Because to me, he doesn't need this character arc. He doesn't need this plateau or valley in his reign. It's not necessary. It's just not. Um, I'm I understand the angle of like, oh, okay, he lost to Cody, so maybe he's gonna be like, oh wait, like did I lose my mojo? Like what happened? What is going on with me? But the way that he lost, he immediately like shook Cody's hands. That's how he left. So it was like a respectful, like congratulations type of thing. It wasn't like he freaked out. But why not instead of making him look like a weak mother effer, why not have him like go on a rampage to prove like, okay, this loss was just a blip in my story. Like that wasn't who I am. I'm still that dude. You know what I mean? Instead of
I'm still
being like
him.
having him walk around with like ooh, and like walking away from Damien and getting a friggin' razor's edge and what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? I'm so confused by it. I hate it. It wouldn't matter if it was Damien Priest or if it was somebody else. I don't get it. I don't think there's any point to this. There's definitely
I don't know.
ways to make it look like whoever he's against has a chance to win the title. I don't think you need to go that far. That's just me.
Okay.
I
Who
hate
then?
it.
Who are you predicting to win?
It has to be Gunther. I will not accept anything else. So,
Who you got?
oh my god, actually, I might pick. No, can you imagine if I just said all that and then I was like,
Oh,
Damien's
you
winning?
just ranted all about that. And we're like, I think Damian Priest has a
Yeah.
chance.
No, no.
No, I got Gunther too. I'm not as passionate as you are about this. It just is the only thing that makes sense right now that they're having Gunther go through this
Squash,
questioning
bro.
phase. They're like this questioning of if he is really the ring general, if he can live up to being, the king of the ring and world heavyweight champion, and if this loss to Cody is just a fluke or if he really is losing a step. Damian Priest is the perfect person to unleash hell on
I just
because
want
he's out riding a high. He's getting up there with fans. They see how, he can take out the enemy and better whatever. Now you need to beat him down. Now you need to beat him down to get the fans to really rally behind him and
I just
hate
want
Gunther.
Gunther to be like Drago. That's all.
Well,
I just want him to be like
he
Drago.
he's trying. Okay, he kind of is already.
No, Drago never looked like this. He never looked like a dog with a tail between his legs. Okay. This motherfucker killed my favorite character in the Rocky movies. Okay. Okay. That's what I'm. If he dies, he dies. That's what I want. That's what I want from Gunther. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I just
Unhinged main event Fro agrees with me, so that's what matters. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't have anything to like it needs to happen if it's Gunther.
Okay.
If it's not, we're gonna have issues.
No, that's when I'm gonna pull a Dave Portnoy and say that we need an emergency live stream.
I think you should do that. If you I really believe that you should start doing that too. Just
Okay.
like I can't do this. Like
Yeah.
just fucking let it out.
If I could go live on TikTok, I would, but we're not at 1,000 followers, so I can't. But
We're gonna get there. Help us get 1,000 so Sara can do this and then I can do things and
yeah,
then we
because
have a
then I could
bigger
do an
platform.
emergency press conference. But anyway.
We have a new match on the
Mm-hmm.
banner. You can see right here. It is Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus taking on Braun Breaker in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. I got Breaker. Braun Breaker is going
Yeah.
to. It's going to be a banger of a match. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's going to get their shine, their spot. But at the end of the day, we need to see Braun Breaker come out of this on top. Like, we just need to be him. He needs to be standing tall to show that he is like, he needs, this is the start of a healthy reign and not a hot potato, just so we can get Jey Uso the title.
Yes, that's why I was gonna say it's like the only thing that makes sense in my mind is that Braun retains because he just got the title back. You'd be doing more harm than good by having him lose, and that is saying a lot for me when we have Ludwig in the match. You know, I don't think Sheamus will win the Intercontinental Championship. Like right now, I think that's something that a lot of fans have built up and want to see at Mania or something. So this is a good way to kind of have that be like the foundation that they can come back to. And this would be good for Kaiser. Like, it would be great if they could have that solo feud, because that does help Kaiser grow. Sheamus doesn't need that. So I have Braun too.
Do you think we'll see whoever doesn't get pinned be Braun's like next feud of sorts? Because they can claim, oh, you didn't pin me and I didn't beat, I did not lose that match, and build that up a bit. I mean,
That feels
I
like
can
it would
see
be
that.
Sheamus.
No, I feel like
Oh,
it'd be Ludwig.
Sheamus gets pinned is what I mean.
Yeah, Sheamus gets pinned and then
Probably
Ludwig would
it
throw
could be
that
something
around.
like, Kaiser does something to take Sheamus out, and then as he goes for the pin, Braun does something to get Kaiser
Hits him
out,
with
and
a
then he
spear.
pins Sheamus. Yeah. And so that's how he gets the win, and then Kaiser's pissed. That's an easy thing to do. And then again, it's like this is something that like Sheamus can come back to and be like, hey, actually, no, you didn't beat me. You took advantage of a, Kaiser doing something. That's how you retained or something like that.
So we both got Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save the War Games. I'll save that. This was added today. I don't know if you saw that, but it was
Mm-hmm.
added to the card. LA Knight defending the United States Championship against newly returning Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think LA Knight retains right now. I really wouldn't be surprised if we do see Nakamura win at some point. Because this is going to be a feud that's not going to just be a one and done. This is going to be going on. I think this is a feud because it's for a mid card title. Doesn't matter that the pay-per-view after this basically is the Royal Rumble. This is something like the US title can be defended on SmackDown, and it's not a big deal. I just think LA Knight retains right now. Maybe Shinsuke wins at some point. Maybe the rematch is at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I don't see LA Knight losing right now because it just started, but I do see
He's
this
been
feud
champion for
building up.
over 100 days.
No, this feud just started. I'm saying,
Oh
like the
god, I thought you meant
Nakamura.
his reign just started. But
No,
yeah.
like this just got cooking, and
Yeah.
we are still. This is not a feud you just have for a one-off.
No.
There's a lot to unpack here, and with how dark and twisted Nakamura can be, it shows shades to me as like Rock Undertaker back in the day. That type of feud. Talking about history repeating itself. So I would like to see LA Knight retain and then Nakamura maybe dethrone him at the Royal Rumble. So then it gives more of a legitimacy that LA Knight could win the Royal Rumble.
I know. I love it when somebody is in a match at the Royal Rumble and then they enter themselves into the Rumble. I don't know
Because they
why, but
lost.
I love that. Yes. Like,
Yeah.
didn't Gunther do that?
No, Kurt Angle did it years ago.
I swear that Gunther did
Years
that.
ago, Kurt Angle did
But
it,
anyway,
and that
yeah.
started the HBK feud.
Yeah. I love that.
He went to
So
fucking
badass.
work. And then HBK just super kicked him over the rope, and that started it started one of the best rivalries of that era. LA Knight. Oh, Jackson says he thinks LA Knight Shinsuke will end screwy finish.
It's possible. I could see it ending like Shinsuke gets disqualified basically because maybe he won't stop beating him up or something. He doesn't do a rope break, something like that. And I'm sure he doesn't care because he'll be like, I'll get a rematch. Like, it's whatever. I don't care.
I get my rematch.
I think if they want to make him look again like the way that they were having him with the Cody feud was making him like a psychological menace, which I think that can still work. But I think if he wants to look like a physical problem, then that is a good way to go about it, because the psychology thing works, but I don't think that it necessarily needs to be everything that he does from now on is like how he does it.
You
Oh
missed.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
where I'm
banned?
going.
Have they
I mean,
banned that?
I mean, we saw a pile driver a week
I
ago,
know. Well,
so
but remember there was that time where they were saying like Asuka couldn't use it and like Shinsuke couldn't use it. So I don't know if they banned it, but that would suck. I want to see that because I love Shinsuke. I think Shinsuke is so underrated in WWE.
so underrated. He's
They
so
don't people
underrated.
do not appreciate like they
They
don't
don't.
understand. This is the thing that goes back to like NXT Black and Gold. Like people didn't understand how big of a deal it was when they got Ricochet. People don't understand how big it was when they got Finn Balor. People don't get how big of a deal it was when they got Shinsuke Nakamura. Like
Yeah,
that was if you weren't on like wrestling Twitter, wrestling social media or something, like that shit was crazy.
it was
And I
crazy.
think because Shinsuke's career has really on the main roster has been a roller coaster, people forget like just how respected and legendary he is, especially in Japanese wrestling. So yeah, I'm
He,
excited that he's back.
he fought under the Great Muta. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean? Like,
he's
it's just like legendary career in New Japan.
yeah.
Star. He was like, there are names that are in AEW that have bigger names like an Okada that have wrestled alongside Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the specifics off the top of my head, but yeah, like go look up Nakamura in New Japan.
So
It's
good.
wild,
Yeah.
wild. Will this will be women's war games match? We have Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Oh shit. Why am I blanking
Rhea
on the names?
Ripley,
Thank
Bianca
you.
Belair, Bailey, Io Sky, and who's the last one?
It was Jade.
No, it was it's Bailey. So who's the last one? Naomi
Naomi.
versus Liv Morgan, Anaya Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Candice LeRae, and
Tiffy.
Tiffany Stratton. I don't know why I keep forgetting Tiffany, but yes. Um I think on the surface when you look at this, you're like, one team is a super team, so they're winning. No, they cannot win. They cannot win. Um it has to be Team Live. It has to be Team Live. Like there's nothing else that I will accept, honestly, because we've gotten to a point where I've said it multiple times that I feel like they're really trying to screw with Liv's title reign, and I just don't think that's fair. And so I think if they have her team lose, this is really messing with her title reign
Mm-hmm.
even more. And let's not forget, guys, WWE released who the top merch sellers were in 2024, and guess who was the number one woman? Liv Morgan. So if people are saying, "Oh, people hate her. She doesn't. No one cares about her. Her reign isn't serious. She's this or that." Girl, bye.
You sit on a throne of lies if you think
She
that.
she
You
sold
liar.
she sold more than Rhea. So because Rhea was the other woman, but she still was higher
Brutal.
on the list than Rhea. So she has to retain it. She has to. We're gonna get to the point where Rhea is gonna start to look like she's gonna get it and whatever, probably leading to Mania. This is what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Liv versus Rhea at Mania. I know a lot of people don't want it, but
But no, now it makes sense because of the way they went about it.
well,
Like, now
yeah,
it
the way
makes
they
sense.
screwed it over by having her return with a mask and stuff. Like, come on,
I just don't
guys.
think she should have returned. I think you could have had someone else
No,
for the War Games match, to be honest with you. But
I
that's
know.
why I'm not.
That's the
That's why I
thing is
don't like
like
the.
have you seen people starting I know people say this about everybody, but Rhea is starting to get Rhea Hogan's. Have you seen that?
I have seen the Rhea Hogan. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
people
I
are
don't
saying it because
agree with it, but
I don't agree with it either
I don't.
necessarily, but I would say I understand it just from the recent return. It was like they beat her down in the parking lot. They said they broke a bone in her face, and then she returns 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
Like that's a
also
Hogan thing.
Brian Danielson wrestled with a fractured orbital bone. He did, so
Yeah, well, so
he
did
could do it.
Undertaker. It happened in a match with Undertaker.
And then he faced himself.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
do you think it should be? Who do you think is gonna win?
I'm on Team Liv side.
Okay, good.
I don't see the superheroes, the heroes winning in this, because to me this feels like a very heel card that the
The
villains are going
heels.
to win. yeah, the villains win with this, just with how the stories are going and with them doing it the right way. And it seems like they're doing that more in this era.
I
You
hope
need
so.
to build them up with wins. So,
Well,
um,
and that's the thing is like we already said like LA Knight winning, that's good.
that's
Um
fine. It's,
who else have we picked? Did we pick baby faces for the other ones? Oh
I
no,
mean,
Gunther
we
winning.
picked the tweener. We picked the tweener and
Yeah, and
Braun
Braun Breaker.
Breaker.
Yeah, and see, and I think when it comes to the war games, like because we can talk about the men's if you want right now.
Oh, I'll
Um,
just hit it.
okay.
Yeah, it's time
I
to talk
think
about the
I
men.
think Bloodline 2.0 needs to win.
100%.
So that
100%.
worries me a little bit just because it's the two heel teams that I feel like need to win. And then that means that most of the people on the card winning would be heels. But I need Triple H to not care. I need you to not care about sending people home happy based on the main event. I have left plenty of Raws, SmackDowns, SummerSlams, whatever I was at, over the limits, disappointed as fuck. Is
Over
what,
the limits. You're
bro.
disappointed you are leaving over the limit. All right. Let's
I
not let's
I
not
was at over the limit with my peep section sign. Okay. That
Wow. Like
I know.
people can't talk shit about your fandom. They really
No,
can't. I'm sorry. You
no.
can't. If you're over the limit with a peep sign,
Yeah.
the
And we
fuck
got on
out of here.
TV. I know. I know. So, um, it's fine to leave disappointed because your favorites didn't win. I think we need to get past that, and I think for the most part Triple H has done that, but there are a couple where the main event just is like, no, bro, no, it doesn't matter if people go home and they're sad because so and so lost. It doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
That's the point of the fact. That's the whole thing with wrestling. There are bad guys and there are good guys. You're not supposed to go home happy every single time because John Cena won or whoever, Cody Rhodes won. No, I don't. If they lose, they lose.
That's how it
Like
goes.
that's
Well,
just how it is. That's life and that's wrestling. So I
gotta
want to
follow the
see
story.
Team Live win, and then I want to see Bloodline 2.0 win. And I think that Bloodline 2.0 needs it. They need it.
How do you how do you
This is
think Bloodline 2.0 win? How do you think
I
they win?
this one's tricky because there are so many different things that they can do in this match because of who's involved. Because it's not
Mm-hmm.
just the Samoans and the Tongans anymore. There's CM Punk in there. We now have Paul Heyman involved. We
Mm-hmm.
have The Rock lurking, in the
Oh,
wings.
he's gonna be there. Don't
He has
you?
to this is one of those moments where I actually want him to be there. And when he showed up at SummerSlam or whatever he was at, I was like, fuck The Rock, why are you here? You're an idiot. I don't like him, so it's hard for me to be like he needs to be there
You
because
don't like him?
I
Just
can't stand
don't.
him. But because this is the last pay-per-view before we're really like officially at
On the road
Mania season,
WrestleMania.
he needs to
Yeah.
be there. So I could see his appearance potentially being what gets them
Mm-hmm.
the win. Um,
That's where my mind goes, is that he
yeah.
comes out and does something where, as I mentioned on previous episodes, he doesn't get in the match and take bumps and whatnot, but he gets inside the structure and takes similar to the with the weight belt, maybe
Mm-hmm.
like a bat or something,
Mm-hmm.
and just starts beating everyone down. I see something like that. I also see something like a Paul Heyman turn. I know I'm gonna throw it out in the
Punk.
ether.
Punk.
That's what I'm saying.
Punk.
Paul
Punk
Heyman,
has Punk has no loyalty to
no
anybody
loyalty, no loyalty at
but
all.
Paul. What would be kind of cool is if The Rock gets into the ring and he squares up to Punk and Punk dips. And he's like, you know what? Do what you got to do, brother. It ain't gonna, you ain't touching me, you know.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah,
there was that scenario that I talked about also about Bronson Reed. He's another random person in this match that
but
has
he's
no.
Samoan.
I get it, but I'm saying like he is somebody that I said maybe he doesn't get to the match. Maybe that's how The Rock presents himself.
You really think they're gonna take Bronson Reed out of the match
I
because of like
I'm
surface
I don't
outside?
this is what I would say.
Really?
Something happens to Bronson. Bronson doesn't show up. They don't have a fifth man. That's when the OG bloodline gets cocky because they're like, ha ha ha, you couldn't even get your other dude, but we have our five. CM Punk showed up. Look at us. The Rock's music hits, distracts them. They come out, whatever, and that's what leads to the Bloodline 2.0 somehow getting a win. I'm just saying if that's a scenario that could happen, it's going to be Bronson Reed. That's the scapegoat.
Oh yeah, it's
Because
not. Well, wait. Yeah, because then Tongaloa would be still. Like I can see Tongaloa getting hurt or something.
no, but see, Bronson has no connection to the bloodline. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if somebody's gonna do something on the OG bloodline, it's Punk. If it's gonna be somebody on the bloodline 2.0, it's gonna be Bronson. Like
So you're
whatever
saying it can't be
happens.
someone in the bloodline who does not share
No.
blood. Okay.
No, they've already drawn their loyalties to each other. So I don't think they're gonna try and screw that up because we think that it's gonna be Roman versus Rock or something eventually. So they need to draw that line in the sand of OG bloodlines on one side, bloodline 2.0s on the other side. Like there's a clear divide between them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the other two that are in the match, it doesn't matter to them. Like they're just there. Like they don't care really.
Yeah.